Hello, welcome to the world of literature. At World of Literature today we would be dealing with a poem by Matthew Arnold titled Dover Beach. Matthew Arnold is a Victorian poet, a critic, an academician. Matthew Arnold in Victorian age is famously known for his social criticism, for writing about the social issues, for discussing the problems that the Victorian society faced. Matthew Arnold is known for some of his famous critical works. For example, he is known for Culture and Anarchy, in which he discusses the situation of society and culture in the Victorian age, where the world was going through a shift from religious or from theological to scientific knowledge or scientific thinking. And in a situation or in a times when science was taking the lead, religion and faith was continuously diminishing or getting reduced in its priority or in its position or status in the society. Now, in such a flux, the culture was also going through ebb and flow, and it was heading towards anarchy. So he would discuss in detail about the prevailing culture or prevailing anarchy in the British society. He is also famously known for essays in criticism, wherein he discusses about the task of a critic in Victorian society. What is the significance of a critic? What are the tasks of the critics? He also published a critical work titled as The Study of Poetry, where he discusses about the significance of poetry, how poetry can be a substitute for the religious teachings, and how poets have to conduct themselves in a time where religion is significantly losing its credibility and science is taking its place. How between science and religion poetry can play a significant role in maintaining the culture and not allow anarchy to take the place of culture. Matthew Arnold is known for some of the poems, though he is not famously known for his poetry, though he is mostly remembered today and read for his critical work, but there are some of the poems which have left a mark written by Matthew Arnold. For example, The Scholar Gypsy is one of the poem which is very famous. Sohrab and Rustum is another poem which is important, and Dover Beach, with which we would be dealing today in this lecture, is another famous poem by Matthew Arnold. Coming to the Dover Beach. The Dover Beach was composed somewhere between 1849 and 1851 when Matthew Arnold went on a honeymoon to Dover, which is a place near Kent, with his wife. And he visited, it is said that he visited twice this place between 1849 and 51, though this poem was only published in 1867 in the collection of poems titled as New Poems. Now, Dover Beach is a very famous poem. Though when we go through the title of this poem, the title is actually a name of a place at Dover near Kent in England. And this is a place which is very close to the English Tunnel, which would be joining England with France. And this is a place which is known for many great events or many bad events that have taken place in past between France and England, because the path through which these two nations would correspond would be through this English Channel. But in the days bygone, even if a war would take place, a siege would take place, even that would take place through this place or through this beach or through this tunnel. So this Dover Beach is a place which is the title of this poem, and the reference to France and England at that time, which is very significant in context of this poem also. It is important to remember here that back then France in 1789 had gone through French Revolution and was heading towards the democracy, and England in 1850s or post 1850s was also heading towards the democratic setup of government. And there were many people in romantic age, for example William Blake, for example William Wordsworth and other, who propagated for the like of French Revolution to happen in England, or for the democracy to come in England. Though in 1850s or post 1850s, when the Prelude was published, a work by William Wordsworth, he was not that happy with what French Revolution turned out to be. He was not happy with all that. Now what do we have in this poem Dover Beach? Let's read this poem and understand what Matthew Arnold has to say.